What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's Jay from ADS. Some of you may know, a couple days ago we posted a video on our channel talking about how we have all moved away from the plate carriers that we were using up until very recently, and we've all moved over to the Shaw Concepts Arc V2. And you might be asking yourself, why did we do that? Well, it's actually pretty simple, but all three of us had different reasons for doing so. So the reasons all three of us had for moving to the Arc V2 vary pretty significantly between the three of us, but it's all pretty similar if you break it down. James had a T3 Tomahawk, I had an Agilite K0, and Mike had an HRT rack. Of the three, James made the largest leap in technology when it comes to his plate carrier. This is his plate carrier, actually. He's been kind enough to let me touch it. Mine's over here, so I'm not really jealous. He did get his before mine, even though I ordered mine before him. I'm gonna leave. So starting front to back, we have the Arc V2. That's pretty self-explanatory. There's many reasons why one would move to this from any others. I've heard many people say that this plate carrier is the best plate carrier that they've ever owned, and that's over things like Faro Concepts, Spiritus Systems, Agilite, Condor. But I feel like everybody moves away from Condor. Even though you're no longer with us, you're with us in spirit. James decided to go with the Agilite Warfighter Cummerbund. He went with it because of the rigidity, the options, and personally, one of my favorite features is how the spear tube system works. And you can have it either be the original style panel with the Velcro and the hook and loop, whatever you want to call it, or you can use a spear tube system. And that is interchangeable. It is very quick. We'll actually show you here in a minute. But one of our personal favorite features of this is how the straps and how everything comes apart. It has this clamshell effect, and I absolutely adore it. Now, when you do go buy a plate carrier from Shaw Concepts, please read the massive walls of text. Otherwise, you will buy the pads. And you don't need to buy the pads. Don't do what I did and buy the pads. It will come with the pads, trust me. I'm not lying to you. I would never lie to you. So on the inside, on the closest part to your body, on the Shaw Concepts Arc V2, you've got these beautiful pads, and you've got 8 of them. You've got a lot to go around. This provides better airflow, and it provides plenty of comfort, but the Arc V2, unlike a lot of other plate carriers, doesn't provide comfort through padding, but comfort through engineering. How the weight sits on your chest, how it sits on your shoulders, how the cummerbund hugs you. It definitely takes a lot of the pressure and strain off of hot stress points a lot of other plate carriers just seem to rely on, and that's a personal favorite of ours. I'm gonna move a little bit forward here, but notice, if you can, how thin the front and back plate bags are. They're the same thickness. He's got a back panel on here, so I'm using the front. But the lack of material is something that you might notice. Shaw Concepts was not only able to shave off weight and make it better for heating and cooling, but they were able to actually make the plate carrier tighter around the physical plate. But it makes it incredibly difficult to adjust. So, on the Shaw Concepts, you've got 6 external straps that tie to the front that you can pull back around, which can make the plate bag tight as possible to the plate itself. The loss of material becomes less of a weakness and actually a positive. Loss of material would typically mean it's more uncomfortable, it's harder on the user, etc., etc. However you want to say it, however you want to justify it. Like I said before, the Arc V2 is not comfort through padding, but comfort through engineering. These straps are one of the reasons why this entire system is so completely ahead of pretty much everything else. So on the inside of the plate bag, we have 6 adjustment straps, which allows you to physically tighten the bag itself to the plate, which lets you have the plate closer and tighter to the actual body geometry that is you. If you have a triple curved plate, this really comes in handy. So one of the things you'll notice about with our Stratus pads here is you get a big gap right down the middle, and that provides a massive air channel. providing you cool, fresh, crisp, and clean air to go on your sweaty back, because the last thing that you want is to be in a stuffy, poorly insulated plate carrier. This allows, with the gaps, more airflow, which lets you run cooler, because we all know that the lighter you are, the cooler you are, the longer you can run in all of your kit. So, this is James's ARC V2. He loves this kit almost as much as he loves his kit. Almost. Not quite, but almost. But this is not a full ARC V2. He has an Agilite Warfighter cummerbund and an Agilite backpack on here. He's got, I believe, the Micro Map 2. I have a full Shaw Concepts ARC V2 with their full cummerbund and their PCP. Some other additions you can get on your Shaw Concepts ARC V2. They have 2 cummerbunds to choose from, and one of my personal favorite pieces of gear that I have ever seen, if I can get the buckles undone, is their PCP, the plate carrier pack. It is my absolute pride and joy, this thing. I can move the backpack from my back to my front and back around to my back again without even having to take it off. You can have quite a bit in this thing, and I absolutely adore it. So, this is James's ARC V2 plate carrier, and well, this isn't mine, so I'm not going to talk about it. James is.
Alright, we're just going to go over really quick on what I have on my plate carrier. We're just going to start from the back. I have a Micro Map back panel from Agilite. I actually really love this because it's nice, it's small. You can undo all the straps to expand this middle part. You can actually fit an entire helmet in there. All right, and then moving up to the side, I am not an Agilite fanboy. I will say though, their Warfighter cummerbund is really, really nice. They have 2 strips here and here of carbon fiber, which adds really, really good rigidity. I love it because I can take it and it's like basically one solid piece. And then up in the front, I have an HRT placard. Still getting used to it. I'm not quite sure how I like it. It hangs really low underneath, so I might be swapping that out. We'll see. The padding on the side are actually Shaw Concepts. I had some other brand, it was nice, it was gel, but the problem is they slid around a lot. With these, I'll rip open, they actually fit between the straps. And so they basically fold in on itself. So these things do not move. Once they're set, you're good, you're solid. Just want to throw out a couple pointers on why I actually moved over to the Shaw Concepts plate carrier. Gimme. So this was the first plate carrier I had. This is a T3 Tactical Tomahawk. It did what I needed it to do. However, there's a couple things that I didn't like about it. For one, the cummerbund. There is no rigidity whatsoever. It was basically a floppy piece on my side. There's very little on here that's actually customizable. For one, it does not take any sort of placards. I actually thought about cutting part of the front panel off in order to be able to run a placard. I just figured, you know what? Easier to go with the best. But you actually had to rip off this thing in order to tear out the plate or even adjust any of the cummerbund up in the front. The shoulder pads on this thing was awful. The only way I was able to run this any longer than even 2 hours was with the gel shoulder pads. Then on the back, there's really nothing special. This plate carrier costs about $250 and there's nothing special about it. Honestly, a Condor would have been much better. So last part of my comparison between the Tomahawk and the Shaw Concepts, the Tomahawk, it really digs down into your shoulders. All that weight is just on those 2 straps versus the Shaw Concept, which the weight is distributed all across your body, so you're not feeling all of that heaviness on just your shoulders because it's sitting on your pecs, your back, and your sides. This is an example of comfort through padding versus Shaw, which is the comfort through engineering.
So in conclusion, we're extremely happy with this. If you have the budget for a setup like this later on down the road, or if this is your end goal, we absolutely wholeheartedly recommend this platform. All 3 of us are running it. All 3 of us are loving it. All 3 of us are probably mowing our lawns in it. I'm not going to apologize for that. When I first designed my setup for what I was going to be doing with my Shaw Concepts. I wanted to have something that I could run for 13, 14 hours, have plenty of storage, but most importantly, be comfortable while I'm doing all of that. Because if you're not comfortable while you're wearing your gear, you really probably shouldn't be wearing that gear. You need to make sure your gear works for you instead of you working for your gear. That is everything that Shaw Concepts is about. That's everything that they've put into their gear. And as we've said many times, and we'll say it before, Shaw Concepts is comfort through engineering, whereas everyone else, or most of everyone else, seems to be comfort through padding. I am unapologetically advocating for this system, as it is the best system that I've ever used, and I've used many. So at the end of the day, the most important part about building a plate carrier is mission-driven tools. We've said that many times on this channel. We say it in our training. We've said it all over the place, really. A mission-driven tool. If a plate carrier works for you, that is what is most important. If you need something overt, if you need something covert, it does not matter. At the end of the day, the plate carrier has to do what you need it to do. And for us, for what we've needed, the Shaw Concepts has worked the absolute best. I have built many plate carriers. I have had to do the least amount of work and the least amount of effort to make this plate carrier work the best for me. We are not sponsored by Shaw Concepts, so I'm just gonna throw that out there. We just really like their stuff. We all, as a group, decided to move to it, and there's been no regrets so far. So, this has been Jay and James with ADS. Thank you so much for watching. If you wanna see more of our gear, don't worry. We will be doing more videos, more stuff on our Instagram and whatnot. As the future goes on, we'll be doing more things with these plate carriers. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.